G by Juliana is for the confident, fashionable, amazing woman. She can expect to feel comfortable. She can also expect a lot of compliments. They'll be asking, who are you wearing?
Okay, I put in my glasses. I'm not as smart as Mike Mezak, the king of coins.
Holy.
Here's hoping. Have you met the king of coins? If not, where have you been? He's been here for over 2 decades.
I have.
Dang it.
You know, selling lots of coins, you know, selling $1 billion worth of coins or so,
Oh,
you know.
give or take.
Give or take, you know.
What would the flex pay be on $1 billion?
I don't know how many payments.
I don't know, but
I need $1 billion, so $1.
There you go. Well, I love doing shows with Mike. You learn so much. He curates the best. He does things in the world of coin collector that no kidding, first of all, no one can get, no one else offers. We do things that they don't do in the world of coin collecting. 30-day return policies, flex pays on many of your options. This is actually your last show for the month. You're not coming back till February, right?
That's right, and it's kind of in February a little bit.
Yeah,
so, I
true.
mean, this is the last show for weeks,
okay.
Certainly weeks.
All right, time is of the essence, my friend. Chop, chop, you got to tell me about this. They've already got a clock on.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Whoa. Let's hit the ground running.
Exactly.
The United States government and the Canadian government did something last year for the very first time. They had a collaborative effort. They did a thing called the Pride of Two Nations. The United States Mint and the Royal Canadian Mint came together and did a coin set in this. We had the American Silver Eagle out of this that is completely and totally, utterly sold out for $299.95.
Okay.
I have some of the Canadian coins, which are just as rare.
Okay.
Just as unique. They only come out of this set. There's only 100,000 of these that you're going to see. But instead of $200, the greatest opportunity, $79.95. $79.95 certified proof 70 deep cameo out of the Pride of Two Nations set. Now, we talk about the U.S. government is changing the American Silver Eagle next year. And they're going to add on the complete redesign on the reverse, on the obverse, they're going to be doing some anti-counterfeiting technology. Something quite, I'm hoping it's something like this coin. The Canadians are leading the world in anti-counterfeiting technology. Take a look at this. So this is Pride of Two Nations. So look at this right here. So you have the maple leaf. And then in here you have all the tiny little maple leaves and stars for the American.
Oh, they are, aren't they?
Now watch this. They have done these so spectacularly. If you move that forward, see it says Canada, 1 ounce pure silver, the whole thing. They, in essence, disappear. They are cut so perfectly. And so finally, when you take it back like that, it's almost a holographic effect, but it's done with the laser engraving of the dies.
Love
you
it.
go on this side, same thing. There's Queen Elizabeth, and when you pop that forward, there it is, Elizabeth II. As you can see, and you're going to do that, but you put that back, and that is what you're going to have. You have all these incredibly fine lines that are in here that create all of that thing. This is the modified proof coin. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that they do some sort of stuff like this with the American Silver Eagle for next year, you know, 2021. They're redesigning the American Silver Eagle. This is the standard. Here's the thing. This is a special Canadian maple leaf. It's not a regular one. I mean, the regular one's $99 or $119.95. I've got the coin out of last year's sold out limited edition Pride of Two Nations set. It only comes out of here. It's a modified proof coin. There's only 100,000 of these in existence, and I've got them at a special price of $79.95, 1 ounce pure silver, certified absolutely perfect PR70, as you can see right there, Pride of Two Nations. Absolutely amazing opportunity for you to be able to own this. Like I said, the companion piece, the American Silver Eagle, $299, completely and utterly, totally sold out.
Well, and you don't have a lot of these either. I mean,
I don't even.
You don't. I mean, at this point, only a couple.
Believe you.
Okay, listen. He's the king of coins, I got stuff. All right, so $26.65. Remember, again, Mike does things in the world of coin collecting no one else does. You have to remember you're dealing with another government when he does something like this.
The United States government has never collaborated on a coin set with any other government prior basically to 2019. And this is the Royal Canadian Mint with the United States Mint. Absolutely spectacular. This was the original, but you don't get this. I mean, you know, this is what it looked like. So here's what the set was right there. So you can see it had the American Eagle right here, and there's the Canadian Maple Leaf. This is gone at $299.95. Same amount of silver, same amount of rarity, same amount of scarcity, same amount of exclusivity, just for $79.95. What an amazing way to start the show.
Absolutely. It is last chance for sure. Only a few hundred available, 703-174. And remember again, Mike's last show until actually well into the month of February. I saw you do something like this is this the one you do with Suzanne?
Yeah. Well, no, we debuted the Tiger Shark.
The Tiger Shark, okay.
I have the last of the Hammerhead Sharks from 2000. This is actually a coin, folks. This is a 1 ounce pure silver coin, $2 coin. I guess you could go spend this in the Solomon Islands for $2. I wouldn't. It's an ounce of silver. There's only 2,500 coins. This is the Hunters of the Deep. This is the coin itself, made out of pure silver. Isn't that absolutely positive?
Cool.
If you go to hsn.com, we have the Tiger Shark with this. We had the great, there you go, look at that, perfect reviews. We had the Great White, absolutely, totally, completely sold out. The Great White Shark, of course, absolutely spectacular, amazing, and all of that.
For sure. Well, perfect reviews.
Yes, as it should be.
All right, so perfect reviews, obviously very limited quantity as well. 701-822. Remember, even though it's coins, 30-day return policy, which is pretty doggone cool. Wow. So Mike Misak is here. This is his last show of the month. He's not back until well into February. He always curates things for us at HSN that he doesn't do for other things. This is a pretty cool offering from you. You worked on this show, my friend.
Yeah, we did. The American Silver Eagle this year has been absolutely positively insane.
Yeah.
It has been, and I've been doing this, like you said, I've been 2 decades doing it here. I've been doing it for a very, 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 since I was knee-high to a short sheep, as they say. So I've been doing it for a very, very long time. When they first came out with this in 1986, I was selling the American Silver Eagle in 1986. So just to put so do that math, however you want to do that math. So the 2020. So when they came out with this in 1986, President Ronald Reagan signed the Liberty Coin Act into law, and they created this design that you see right here. And every single solitary American Silver Eagle from 1986 until this has had this design on it.
Right.
The United States government late last year decides to announce that in 2021 they are changing the design of the American Silver Eagle, completely redesigning the reverse and doing the obverse in a very, very different pattern. This is going to be anti-counterfeiting. This is entirely redesigned. The response in the marketplace has been nothing short of cataclysmic, is what it comes down to. Sales are up, and what's happening, we're already having a shortage of American Silver Eagles. The United States government is out there right now trying to do all these new things. They're upping their game in a huge way, but they can't when they can't make enough American Silver Eagles. Go back to 2009. The demand went so crazy in 2009 that they couldn't even make proof Silver Eagles in 2009. They didn't have enough blanks. They didn't have enough silver. The sales this year are far exceeding 2009, folks. Tremendously exceeding 2009. We may not have coins for the majority of the year. I don't know. They're doing okay right now, but they have so much going on. So they're changing the design. It's the end of an era. It's the end of this. You must put it into your collection. Now, what I have here is my exclusive PCGS version.
Yeah.
So this, as you can see right here, it's a first strike, and it's out of a monster box, a green sealed box. That's why we have the green ring. One thing that I want to show you.
I was just going to say, I hope you show that. All right. Yeah.
This is what the United States government doesn't sell Silver Eagles directly to the public. They sell Silver Eagles like this. In this box, okay, with 500 Silver Eagles in it. It has a strap on it like that, and then inside of the box, there we go, just like that, and it's hard because they're all in there.
Right.
They have tubes of 25. I'll never be able to get that back in there, but that's okay. So they have tubes of 25 in there for 500 coins for the entire box. Now, we bought literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boxes of these coins to get the coins that are going to be Mint State 70 absolutely, positively perfect. And so we bought these coins. This is an old box from 2017, and hence they're called green monster boxes. They say United States Mint, the box is numbered. This is the United States government numbering the box that you have right there. And we bought these pallets and pallets, literally tons of Silver Eagles to be able to get these in Mint State 70. Because what happens is they do not grade very well because these are the regular Mint State coins. So first of all, you get our exclusive design right here with the green monster box, direct from U.S. Mint sealed boxes with the green core in the PCGS. You've got it certified Mint State 70. You get the red oak presentation box. I am debuting this right here, right now, folks, for you to be able to get this. So if you got the NGC, if you've got the Annex, remember our today's special sold 12,299 coins just like that. We've got the PCGS now. Now remember, red oak presentation box, $24.95 customer pick all day long. $24.95. So that really takes this price in essence down to 75 bucks is ultimately what it comes down to. Like you said earlier, we did the flex pay on it, which we're starting to do on coins now. So that's created that. So what you have is you have Silver Eagle demand at the highest level I have ever seen it in the history of the United States Mint. It's not even close. And the United States Mint has got a lot on their plate. They have made 2 additional major announcements this week. So they're going to continue on with the West Point Minted quarters, but they're going to do a privy seal honoring the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Oh, wow. So they just announced that. They announced they're doing special bonus coins with the Mint set, the Proof set, and the Silver Proof set. They're going to be W Mint nickels. On top of now the hottest coin going on out there. I don't even have any right now. We're trying to get them. The fruit bat from the American Samoan coin, the baby fruit bat. It's like supplanting Baby Yoda out there. Everybody loves this thing. It's a little fruit bat hanging upside down with their baby on the coin. That's the whole design of the coin. It is on fire out there in the marketplace. Cool. I'm trying to procure some. They're almost impossible. Oh my gosh. And so with all of that going on, now they still have to make Silver Eagles at a rate greater than they ever have in the history of the United States Mint. Good luck with that. We are already, I think, going to see significant shortages in availability of American Silver Eagles. I think that will continue through the year. If you look, check this out right here. Right there is the 2020. So this is the actual coin. So we have the coins now. Right. So these are them. There are people out there that I promise you, let's say you bought a Silver Eagle. Okay. And you sent it into PCGS to have it certified. Your chances of getting that back within the next 3 to 5 months is 5%. No kidding. There is at least a 2-month waiting period at any of the grading services right now. I mean, my company alone has over 500,000 American Silver Eagles in PCGS, NGC, and Annex right now. We have over 500,000, and every one of those coins have to be looked at individually by a coin grader. Wow. So now add that, you know, we're not the only ones out there. There are literally millions of coins sitting in the grading services right now. So your chance to be able to certify a coin, which you couldn't do at $99 anyway. Because understand, a certified coin, first you have to buy the coin. So you got to go out there and get it. You got to get 10 of them because they only grade about 10%. You got to send it in. $24 shipping and handling. There's a $10 service fee. There's $30 to grade the coin and $24 to send it back. So do that math. So you're about $100 in the certification before you bought the 10 coins. Right. And then you got to buy the red oak presentation box from us because nobody else out there has them. And if they do, they're more money. So by the time you try to put this together, and by the way, you're just going to get the regular PCGS label. Yeah. And of course, everybody out there wants the last year of issue of the American Silver Eagle. Now add in the exclusive, the exclusive design, the green core that's exclusive from the mint sealed box, Mint State 70, the 2020. So that's the numismatic side of it. Now look at the numerology side of it. So when we look at that 2020, it's cool looking. They've only done that kind of double date 3 times. They'll only do it 3 times in the history of the U.S. Mint, 2020, 1919, 1818. They didn't make them in 1717. They're not going to make them in 2121. We're not going to have money in 21-21. So this is the last of what it amounts to a trio.
Yeah.
Okay? And the 1818s, good luck with that. The 1919s, good luck with those. So this is at the very least affordable. It is the end of an era. The United States government is loath to change the design of coins. As I said, I'm oldish. In my lifetime, they have never changed the design on the Roosevelt dime. They have never changed the design on the Kennedy half dollar.
Ever.
They have and will change the Lincoln cent one time in my entire lifetime. Not on the air.
Wow.
In my entire time on Earth, they will change the Lincoln cent one time. They're going to change this. This will be, when I talk about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, for me, this will be the only time that I will get to present a design change in the American Silver Eagle on television, period. It's 35 years till this design change. By law, they have to wait 25 years at minimum to change it again. I will not be here in 25 years. I've almost put in my first 25. I don't think I'll be around for the whole second 25. Yeah, that's right, unless I clone, that's right. Or one of my sons takes over, okay, with that. They're more in the collecting phase right now. So when I talk about once in a lifetime, and you have to buy the last coin in the series.
You do.
It's so collectible, it's so desirable.
It is, and I think what people forget is even if you had the wherewithal.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank goodness there's not coins in there. They weigh 52 pounds.
Okay, that would be my workout.
Yeah.
So even when you buy this box, it's not a guarantee that every single thing in this box is going to grade out.
And there's 500 in there.
Right.
Okay, so understand you got to write a check for about 13 grand for the box.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And then everything in this box is not necessarily going to grade at that.
Oh, I can guarantee it won't.
Right, it
Absolutely. I've had entire boxes where, you know how many 70s we get? That would be 0.
No.
There's a strike through. Something gets on the die. Okay, so you get a little piece of lint on the die, boom, 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 and there's a little thing right there on thousands of them, on thousands of, and we get them back. What happened? Strike through.
Yeah. Right?
Strike throughs, really? Strike throughs.
Oh, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the other thing about the coin collector. Not only it's on FlexPay and a 30-day return policy, we do not limit quantities. And that might sound kind of funny if I'm selling a blender. When I'm selling a coin, it's like,
people limit quantities.
retro.
Only 2, only 3. I'm going,
But you know what
is
that
this?
happens?
This is America.
Happens
Buy
at
whatever you
coin
want.
shows, that does happen in the real world of coin collecting.
Sure,
it just does.
all the time.
All the time.
You know, you see it in the, Sunday supplement.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can only have one.
Right.
This time we'll give you a good price. Well, what are you going to do from here on out? Okay. We're going to give you a good price. Buy as many as you want.
It's true. Hey, you got a lot of stuff going online too, right?
There are literally hundreds and hundreds of coins that we will never show on the air that you can only buy online. That you can only buy online because there's simply not enough quantity. For us to go online like those coins, we probably just sold, I don't know, 500 or 1,000.
Sure.
So what if I have a really cool coin and we got 80?
Yeah.
It goes on hsn.com.
Oh, sure.
So you see those constantly on there where there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coins that are only, and have in their history only been on hsn.com.
All right, great place to shop. Usually there's videos on demand. So Mike Mezak is here. Welcome into HSN. He really is the not dethroned, or he is the reigning king of coins.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
For now, reigning king of coins,
right. But he really does do things in the world of coin collecting. The education is kind of the side benefit, I think, and this is a good place to talk about that because Mike not only provides you things you can't find anywhere else, he sources things in a way, he does things in a way, the FlexPay, the 30-day return policy. The congratulations coin is something that I know you have a lot of fun with when we bring.
Yeah, well, here it's an interesting thing. So we just talked about kind of the rarity, collectability, desirability of the American Silver Eagle. So far they have released, there's basically a mint state coin, and then there's a proof American Silver Eagle. Well, this is the proof American Silver Eagle. The proof coin tends to be somewhere about 50 to 75 times rarer than the mint state coin. The United States government charges 300 to 400% more for the proof coin than they do the regular mint state coin. We don't. So they charge significantly more money. It is significantly rare. So the proof coin is always kind of the collector favorite. But they also release at various times, and since 2013, so they've only been doing this for about a half a dozen years or so, they release a special subset of American-proof silver eagles, the rarest part of that, in what's called the congratulations set. And people say, well, why do they call it that? Well, because it says congratulations. So they basically take an American silver eagle and they put it in this little thing and they say, congratulations. And so they've done this, and what happens is they make very, very few of these. So there may be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these. In the congratulations set, maybe 20 or 25,000 is all they charge more. So if you recall last year, they did the 2019 San Francisco enhanced uncirculated or enhanced reverse proof American silver. They made 30,000. That coin, I think if we're not sold out, we're close to sold out at $4,300. This coin by provenance will be rarer than that coin because they're not going to do 30,000 congratulations. So it's probably about 20 to 25,000. The 2016 is the rarest of those. Go on HSN.com. It's $799 for the 2016 because it's from the congratulations set. This is from the congratulations set. It's not $719. And by the way, the 2016 coin isn't the last year of issue either. So, I mean, you know, so this adds in. And people say, so what's the big deal about last year of issue? In coin, there it is right there. Yeah, they're just asking me, this coin you mean? Yeah, that's $799 coin that you see right there. By the way, look at that, 5 stars on the one review that it has. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
$7.99.
And so people ask me, so in the world of coins, so does the last coin matter? I think so. So if you take, for instance, the $20 St. Gaudens.
Okay.
The first year of issue, very desirable coin, 1907. Get a 1907, high wire, high relief, in a beautiful hot top grade. You're talking about a $200,000 or $300,000 coin for a 1907. Last year of issue, 1933.
Yeah.
If I had it out here right now, I would put on and I'd sell it in 20 seconds for $30 million. So. It's important. It's $30 million.
Right.
The Liberty nickel, first year of issue, 1883. I could sell you a nice, brilliant, uncirculated coin for $500. Last year of issue, 1913, be $5 million, maybe $10 million.
Right.
Last year of issue. Okay, so sometimes it's the first year, some year it's the last year, but regardless, first years and last years are always, the bookends are always the coins to collect.
The ones to get.
So this right here is not only the bookend of the proof silver eagle, but also of the congratulations set that you're going to have with this right here. And now the other thing that the United States Mint, so they're upping their game.
Right. As
it turns out, they also are upping their prices. So you remember, we have tens of thousands of people in honor ships here. Every one of you out there, remember your price can never go up, your delivery's guaranteed for as long as you stay in the program. Good on you. The United States Mint across the board is raising prices somewhere between 15 and 25% this year. Your price is guaranteed, your delivery is guaranteed, your price will never go up. So all of you that locked that in, good on you. We will honor those prices until the end of the program. That's simply the way that it is. And this coin, the United States government went up almost 20% on the price of the uncertified, ungraded coin.
Wow.
That is significant. My price went up about 8%. So we held that back as much as it could. The United States government, like I said, they are really pounding the prices out there. So they're deciding they're going to make fewer coins in essence. They're going to raise the price. Things are going to be more collectible. Now is the time. If you've never collected, now is the time to start.
Oh, for sure.
The United States, I mean, we're about to go into a renaissance of numismatic collecting, unlike anything that we have seen in coin collecting in decades and decades and decades. Now is the time, and this coin is what is going to launch that. The very last American silver eagle. Now you have the silver eagle, incredibly collectible. The proof silver eagle, even more collectible, 50 times more collectible. And then out of the congratulations set that you see right there that comes out of this, establishing the provenance of that, is going to be another probably 20 times rarer than the regular proof American Silver Eagle. So that's going to make this coin out of the congratulations set somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 times rarer than the Mint State American Silver Eagle. Okay, to do that math, somewhere in the neighborhood on the order of 1,000, 10 orders of magnitude in essence, okay, is what we're looking at in terms of that. That's why this congratulations eagle is such a huge deal.
But see, and I think, so the collectability of this goes beyond the regular coin collecting world, per se.
Oh, goodness, yes.
So you're already starting with a smaller availability, smaller mintage, right? The 25,000, give or take, which is smaller than what they've
And it could be
before.
10, it could be 12.
It could be 10, you don't know. The government has raised the price. You've absorbed it, you know, basically for your customer.
Yay.
And you're getting the double digit, the 2020. And you're getting it on FlexPay?
Exactly. Now let's go back and
Okay.
let's do some bookkeeping, some
right.
housekeeping for the
Okay,
United
okay.
States government. There is an order of production for the United States Mint. So let's say all of a sudden they start running out of blanks, which are the things that they make these coins out of, which like they did in 2009. By law, they have to produce the Mint State coins to whatever order people want. And if they run out of blanks, they can produce no more proof coins. They can produce no more proof coins. So if demand on the Mint State coin stays where it is today, we may end up in a year where they don't necessarily sell out of these, they just simply don't make any more. Because all the demand, all the production capacity of the United States Mint is all focused on the 2020 Mint State coins, because by law, they must provide those coins. Remember back in 2009, they couldn't keep up, they never even made a proof coin in 2009. In 2009, they only made Mint State American Silver Eagles. So now you have a coin that's the rarest of the rare under normal circumstances. Now add in the craziness of Silver Eagle sales. And so when I say these are more popular than prior years, because we have decades of data. So you're going, what are they up? Like 20% more, 30% more? How about like 300% more?
What?
Yeah, absolutely. 300. So we're seeing sales on the American Silver Eagles. I'm not talking about just here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about industry-wide, tripling what they have in the past on the American Silver Eagle.
That's
and that
huge.
is before everybody even realizes that this is the last year. They had a little symposium at the end of November. It's not like it's been on the morning shows out there. It will at some point. And then once all of a sudden it is coast to coast and everybody realizes, okay, first of all, I need silver, which is at a really good price right now. Secondly, I can get it in the last old style American Silver Eagle that they've done for the entire year, this year in the 2020, since they're changing it in 2021. And all of a sudden you have a thing where demand is already insane, go to, like I said, just ridiculous, scintillating numbers.
So is it fair to say that even coin distributors / collectors will grow exponentially, maybe even people who aren't dealing in that particular industry?
Just like state quarters.
Just like state quarters will get involved. It's highly unlikely that they would absorb some of those additional costs to the consumer.
Right.
Right?
Right, absolutely.
They're not going to do a 30-day return policy of FlexPay. And what do you
They might not even be there tomorrow.
Right.
That's the thing. How many times? I'd like to send this back. Crickets. Crickets.
Good for you.
And you're typing madly. Where are you? Crickets. You know, crickets. We've been here for, you know, decades and decades and decades. I've been here for decades.
I know.
We're going to take care of you.
You can't miss with this. I mean, you really can't. 30-day return policy and FlexPay. Well, we're just getting started. This is the warm-up act. Oh, wait till you see what he has coming up. All right, welcome into HSN. Happy Saturday and happy last show for the month. You're not back until well into February. King of Coins, Mike Nizak is here. Do continue to shop on that congratulations coin, our last offering, but the party is just getting started. This is just the warm-up act. Mike really does. It's funny, I tried to print my show a couple of days ago. It wasn't written. They're like,
we read it like yesterday afternoon.
Exactly. You know, it's him, right? He really does have hands-on, curates all these things, and does it in a way that nobody else does.
This coin we literally added into the show. We finally found quantity yesterday.
Oh, did you really?
And so
Ooh.
I got these yesterday.
Okay.
And I just was picking them up to say goodbye, ladies, because they are disappearing. So,
okay.
This is the last year of issue of the Morgan Silver Dollar, the 1921.
Yep.
It is the only year they made it at both the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. These are all original, brilliant, uncirculated coins.
Okay.
They are all 1921. They're all 100 years old in essence, okay? Because they were made in 1921. This is 2020.
Yeah.
They are all 100% original, not reprinted, restruck, or redone in any way, shape, or form. My regular price on these was $279.95.
Oh, I just saw
I'm
that.
down to $199.95. And I have this, the nationally advertised catalog.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Minute Coin's $113, the Denver Minute Coin's $128, the San Francisco Minute Coin's $128. That's $369. We're $199.95.
Wow.
Now here, and I've only got, what have I got, 300 sets or something like that.
you really...
Sorry, my mistake, 250, 20
There you
dozen.
go.
So here's what happened. The first time I had these on a month or so ago, I've been stockpiling these forever.
Oh, I bet you have.
And here's why. They're 100 years old this year. Wow. Next year is the 100th anniversary, and the Mint has got all kinds of things going on for this. I think they're going to do this in solid gold. I think they're going to do this in solid platinum. Ooh. I think they're going to do this. The thing that has already started is people have started hoarding 1921 Morgan silver dollars. There's absolutely, positively no doubt about it. I have gone in the past and I could find 100 coins, 500 coins, 1,000 coins, whatever I needed. I have been searching for these like nobody's business for 2, 3, 4 months. I buy these 10 at a time, 12 at a time, 20 at a time is all that I can do. The Denver minted coin is the most difficult. So they started making the Morgan silver dollar in 1878. They last made it, as you see here, in 1921. And only one of those years, they made it at the Denver Mint, and you're looking at it, and you're going to get it in this particular set. I'm gonna see if I can find the Denver minted coin. That's Philadelphia. Let's see what we got here. There, I think that's the San Francisco. The mint marks are so tiny. I remember a day I could read. There we go, there's the Denver minted coin. If you get between the D and the O in dollar right there, there's a little itty bitty teeny tiny D. Okay, see that thing right between D and the O in dollar, that little speck right there?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a D, okay? That stands for the Denver Mint. Now look at this coin. Absolutely stunning. So it's, first of all, the only Morgan silver dollar ever made at the Denver Mint was 1921. They're all original, brilliant, uncirculated. By the way, they're silver too, almost an ounce of silver in each one of these as well. And I've taken $80 off the price, even though it's probably the hottest vintage coin in the marketplace today. Look at these, they're gonna go fast. So here's the thing, don't wait too long on these. This is what happened last time.
I know.
And then all of a sudden, I have 150 pieces left and boom, 500 people show up online. Because these are 100% original. Understand, while they're gonna be doing commemoratives next year, this is the original coin made 100 years ago. And this is the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and understand, you get all 3 coins at $199.95.
Mike, I'm gonna have you do the catalog here in just a second, but and this is fair warning for everyone. When you see that quantity left, it is not linked to the number of people who are choosing to join us. And the reason I say that, so you see 224, if we consider all the methods of ordering, remote, shop by remote.com, call
there's like 90 probably.
Yeah, actually, you read my mind. More than 2/3 of the inventory are spoken for, of what we have left, And I can tell you for a fact, especially as we go closer and closer to the official 100th anniversary, finding these, even for somebody like Mike Mizak, will be impossible.
Almost impossible to do.
Will be impossible.
I mean, and that's what's happening. So we're $67 a coin. Now understand, each one of these is nearly an ounce of silver.
Right.
So we're $67 a coin. And they're not just any 1921 Morgan silver dollars. These are brilliant uncirculated. They are 100% original. It is a complete mint mark set. They only made them at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint.
80% of the inventory spoken for if we consider everybody who's joining us and the quantity left.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Please do not wait. Please do not hesitate. Look at that number. You have probably a couple of minutes. And
At
so
best.
this coin right here, nationally advertised catalog, this coin right here, $128.
The one coin.
$128. The San Francisco minted coin, $128. Remember, we're $67.67. Is what it comes down to on this. Absolutely, positively.
Those two.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
Mike, they are telling me it does not appear likely that we will make the duration of the clock, and we just try to point those things out because when I said,
told you. See you, ladies.
I know.
Have a nice night.
Bye, ladies.
Enjoy your new home.
Exactly. So I guess time is of the essence. Yes, it's a history lesson when Mike is here, but this is when you do have to act now and you do have to act pronto because we will be saying goodbye to this. This was a late breaking addition to this show. In fact, it wasn't originally scheduled.
We had a big coin show in Houston and we found one guy that had 90 of these.
Oh, wow.
These are a little easier to get. San Francisco, a little harder. The Denver's impossible.
Okay.
I found a guy that had enough so that we could literally put it in the show for 4 minutes.
Well, if you were wise enough to make that decision in some form of order and you got it, do not hang up. We took that phone call into consideration, so congratulations and good for you. Now, still available. Mike, can you bullet point this for someone who didn't watch before the break?
100% exclusive to us, the very last year of issue of the Heraldic Eagle American Silver Eagle in PCGS. Absolutely perfect Mint State 70 with the $25 collector box.
There you go. And you're not spending the, 20% increase that the government is ish?
Don't get me started. Do not get me started.
Where's that green box? That'll be your soapbox. Get on your box.
I'm
Get
looking
on your
for a
box.
mint guy. I'm throwing it at him.
Okay. Mike Mizak
They've never done that before.
Oh, no kidding.
No, I mean, I've been buying from the mint, for 35 or 40 years. They've never had a price increase like that.
Oh, no
never,
kidding.
Never.
Oh,
never.
wow.
That wasn't based on, let's say, silver or gold going crazy.
Oh, no kidding. Well, see, that's just it. When I say it's a history lesson, you learn as much as you want to start collecting. If you're not a coin collector yet, I promise you by the end of this show, you will be. Mike Mizak is here. You're here at HSN. And whenever we do give you those limited quantity updates, like our last, Morgan is gone. Now, again, don't hang up. We took your phone call into consideration. You should sit up and take notice. This, however, is for, we would say, the discerning collector?
Here's the thing. It's not for everybody, but it is for everybody.
There you go.
and here's why. So now, and I think we can do VIP financing on this, so it's absolutely huge.
Yep. So basically, I'll just do that real quickly.
Yep.
HSN credit card, apply and buy. If you have an HSN card, you can have basically 12 flex pays at $266.66 with a 30-day return policy. Okay.
So the United States Mint has decided to end the heraldic design American Silver Eagle.
Gotcha.
So this is all of them.
Okay.
1986 to 2020.
Oh, yeah.
In Mint State 69.
Oh, no, that's cool.
For $3,100. I have 2 Mint State 70 sets.
Okay.
Okay. They're $85,000 a piece. Okay, I wish you could have seen the face she made.
Okay.
$85,000 a piece for the Mint State 70 sets. So here's what I have, is every single solitary American Silver Eagle in Mint State 69 from 1986 all the way up, including 2020, in 2 red oak presentation boxes, $79.95 a piece for this. Basically, about, what is that, about 85 bucks a coin, somewhere in there, the math on that. To be able to do 35 coins. There's 35 coins, I think, that's going to be here. What's that, 6, that's 18, 35 coins. 35 coins in the set. So you're going to, once you count in the boxes, you're looking at, like I said, about 80-something bucks a coin. And you're going to get every single one of them. Every single one of these is a sold-out limited edition. Now, you go out there in the marketplace, and I've literally got just a very, very few of these. I have, in all the years that I've been here, never offered a complete set of Mint State 69 Silver Eagles. Never, ever, 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 ever. And the reason is it wasn't the end of the program. We've done auto ships, we've done all that. And so, you know, until I could have closure, I guess, is what you're looking at. The bookends, where I know it's all said, all in, all done. I just wasn't comfortable selling the entire set because I knew, okay, well, next year it'll be incomplete.
Right.
You know, and so now I could say this is the heraldic eagle set of American silver eagles. So you have 3 pounds of silver in this, 35 ounces of pure silver. You've got all of the coins, 34 of which are sold out limited editions that the United States government no longer produces or makes available. I mean, you can find them in the marketplace. There are some of these coins that are stunningly, stupefyingly difficult to get. And they're interesting years. 1999, really hard year to get. 1996, all the 90s are actually really difficult. I can show you, catalogs, internet places and all, where the 1996 is like, and Mint State 69 is, $486. The 2000s could be crazy priced as well. With the whole Y2K thing, people put those away back then. And then when they first started making the American Silver Eagle, the United States government, when they started making the American Silver Eagle, didn't take a lot of care. They really didn't start taking care making American Silver Eagles, where this is considered a very high grade, Mint State 69. If these were Morgan silver dollars, this set would be 35 Morgan silver dollars, and Mint State 69 would be $4 million. Something like that. And so this is considered a very high grade. They don't really start making good coins until about 2009 or 2010, where they're quite a bit easier to get in Mint State 69. But you have the entire set. Right. You have the entire series. And that's the key to this. All 35 coins, all of them certified. And understand what's happening out there. You have counterfeits, and you're going to have significant quantities of counterfeits of these particular coins and these particular sets. There's no doubt about that. But this is with one phone call. You can get every single solitary one of the American Silver Eagles in the heraldic design. It is now complete. Like I said, we have closure on the set, if you will. In the red oak presentation boxes. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but it is for everyone.
But it is.
Because if, let's say you've never started collecting, at $266.66 a month, right. you're now the ultimate collector. You're now, you're now a big fish in a small pond.
You're in the know.
That's right, you are, 100%.
Because you know the guy behind the guy who knows the guy. You know Mike. Right. Because, and actually, case in point, and incidentally, we do not have a lot of these. You can probably surmise or guess that right now. So what we've got is what we got. I can promise you, we will sell many more off the air than we do even on the air. It's a considered purchase.
Always what happens.
Always what happens. It's a considered purchase for sure, but to Mike's point, it is on 12 interest-free payments. It's on that flex pay. Well, I say flex pay if you do the VIP financing at $266.66. Still get that return policy. And Mike, so I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here. If I'm not doing this with you, with us here, and only as long as supplies last, how would I curate something like this?
Pick them off one at a time.
That is literally what I'd have to do.
Maybe buy them on the internet.
Yeah.
Good luck. Maybe they're real. Maybe they're not. Who knows? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had all kinds of counterfeit coins come across my doorstep that I've bought on the internet. That's an absolute guarantee.
Yeah.
So not only do you have the guarantee and the reputation of HSN standing behind it, but you have Annex, and their experts have curated every single solitary one of these coins and absolutely guarantee weight, content, purity, and authenticity in perpetuity.
It is what it is.
And in Mint State 69, like I said, go up one grade and you have to add, I mean, it's 30 times more expensive if you go up just one single solitary grade. So this is the highest graded set, kind of contiguously graded set of American Silver Eagles available in the marketplace today. I've got limited quantities of these. They come with the red oak presentation boxes.
And you know what? In decades of doing this, Mike's never done it because he couldn't.
Didn't feel right.
It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. So certainly for select.
Long live the king. King is dead.
It's true.
And then next year, long live the king.
That's right. But we don't have a lot of these, as you can probably guess. So definitely grab yours while it's here. 706-896. Remember, I know it's a considered purchase, but you do get that 12-month VIP financing and that 30-day return policy. All right, we are moving along. Remember, this is Mike's last show until well into the month of February. And these shows are never really written well in advance because he curates everything. He acts and reacts to what you have availability to. What is good? First of all, the price alone makes me kind of sit up and take notice. Like, what?
Well, here's the thing. Some people said, okay, I love it. It's great. I don't want the red oak presentation box.
Okay.
Okay. I just want the absolute positive, rock bottom, best price.
Right.
Absolutely perfect 2020 American Silver Eagle you can do. Right here it is.
There you go.
Okay, this is an NGC Mint State 70, $69.95. We literally didn't have this in the show until about 11 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, jeez.
I got my NGC, which is working weekends now, okay? But well, there's hundreds and millions of coins there to be graded.
Right.
Gave us our grading certificate, our grading statistics, and said, okay, we have them here. You know, they are being overnighted to you today. This is how many we have, and I'm going, yay! I can put it in the show because last time we aired this, I think it was about 1,600 pieces sold.
You know, you don't have anywhere near that.
No. I think I have half that. Is
yeah,
that right?
exactly about half.
Yeah.
About half
is what it is. Still enough to sell. But it just kind of ticks all the boxes. So you get that last year of issue.
Right.
You get absolute perfection. You get it certified, but you get it at absolutely, positively the best price I can do a Mint State 70, a modern American Silver Eagle that you have here. And as a matter of fact, I go back in my head, I don't know the last time I sold any Mint State American Silver Eagle for $69.95. I mean, it's been years.
Oh, yeah.
It's been years, let alone what is the single hottest American Silver Eagle, certainly of the last decade.
Oh, for sure.
And maybe of the entire 35 years that the United States government has been making the American Silver Eagles. So it is that big of a deal. And so that's why we did. I mean, we shaved this down by nickels to be able to get $69.95 on this. It has been immensely popular. It has been incredibly popular. Now, remember, for those of you that are perhaps just tuning in, the United States government has announced, you may or may not know this, the United States government has announced that they are changing the American Silver Eagle next year in 2021. That is huge. It is cataclysmic. It is titanic. I don't know what other adjectives I can use. I'll come up with some in a minute, I promise. They just don't do that. The United States government doesn't change coin designs. First of all, by law, you can only change the design every 25 years.
Right.
To start with. Secondly, they just don't like to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm oldish at best. They have never changed the Roosevelt dime in my entire lifetime. Oh, wow. They started making the Kennedy half dollar in 1964. It looks exactly like it does when it came out in 1964. They have never changed the design of the Kennedy half dollar. In my lifetime, they have changed the Lincoln cent one time. It is likely to be the only time. Their plan on the Lincoln is to change it every 50 years. Wow. Every 50 years. They changed it the year before I was born. So that would be, I'd have to be at least 99 to see a second change in the Lincoln cent. So my point to all that is the United States government is loath to change the design of American coins, period. And so for them to change this, and understand that's just like, okay, they changed the nickel, who cares? I mean, to some degree, who cares? It was 2009. It was kind of a cool deal. They did some nice changes, but it's the nickel.
It's the nickel.
It's cool.
Sure.
There's not a lot of nickel collectors, I got to be honest. So they've changed coins that weren't popular to try to keep them, to make them popular. This is a whole different thing. This is the single most popularly collected silver coin on the planet today. The single most popularly collected silver coin on the planet today that they are changing next year. That makes it incredibly ridiculous. Now remember, last time I think we sold 1,500 or so of these in about this same time slot.
Right.
Look at these. They are just absolutely, that is going to count backwards pretty quickly.
It is. And let me just put it to you this way. Almost 200 people, well over 100 people in about 90 seconds. We have less than half of what Mike had in any comparable offering here at HSN. And if there is one coin, and this is just me just saying it, so if you're a novice, if you're new, if you don't know where to start, if budget, and let's be honest, we all have some budget, whatever it might be, if you are looking for a place to land, to get, to grab, and quite frankly, I'm just gonna say it, to get more than one, at this moment in history on this historic coin, let alone at this price. Run, do not walk. Don't cause injury. But no kidding, act pronto on this, because my own speculation on this, I believe this will be your first and your only airing at this price on this coin, unless Mike can part the. I have no.
We'll do our best.
He'll do his utmost best, but I'll just tell you right now, with the 600 only available, remember that does not take into consideration the people who are joining us in the various forms of ordering, nor does it factor in whether or not people are buying more than one. And Rick is my producer tonight. Rick, is it possible to kind of get a handle? I'm assuming that people are getting more than one, because here's how this also, there are lots of new faces are shopping for this too. This is actually
smart.
Very smart. If you are new to the coin collector, get this. I'll just say it that way, because not only are you getting one of the most historic coins, certainly of Mike's lifetime, let alone ours or yours or mine, anybody, even if you're new to coin collecting, at $23.32, that's a flex pay. You could do multiples. So let me put it to you this way. You could buy 3 of these coins on 3 flex pays and pay out of pocket, out of the gate, roughly what you would spend for one. And you secure, you experience one of the hottest, one of the most talked about, one of the most historic coins of our time, of our generation, and certainly of generations to come. Seriously.
Well, and understand from a collector perspective, and you bring up a good point, and as Rick told, there's a lot of new people shopping.
There is.
Understand what this does. First off, there's an ounce of pure silver in here.
Yeah, true.
It wasn't that long ago that silver was $52 an ounce. So just the silver in here was $52. So understand, this is an ounce of silver. Silver, adjusted for inflation, is near 20-year lows. I mean, silver is exceedingly affordable right now. Gold's made a tremendous run. Silver's lagged quite a bit. So you have the intrinsic value.
Mike, I'm so sorry. I have to interject. And only because my producer, Rick, he is all-knowing, all-seeing.
The tracker.
He's the tracker, as we say. He's actually telling me we're probably going to have to start next hour early, meaning we're going to have to move up the coins that we had officially scheduled for next hour, because it will not last. And I don't mean that to be abrupt or or brusque or rude. It just because. Listen, I listen and learn. I get caught up with the information with Mike too, but this is one, believe me when I say you do have to act now if you want it. So as Mike, as you were saying, the intrinsic value of the silver alone, if you're a novice or a new collector.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
And then, see, in coin collecting as in any collecting, the single most important determining factor of value is what? It's condition.
Sure.
The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Well, this is Mint State 70. So that's absolutely perfect. To put that into perspective, a 1996 American silver I was just talking to you about. A Mint State 69 today, about $159, $179, give or take either side of that. But a Mint State 70 is about $7 grand.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, there's the thing.
A car.
So 200 or a car.
A car.
Okay, $7 grand, something like that. So when you have 86, I mean, I can say that for $129 in Mint State 70, it's $500. The difference in grade is critical. The higher the grade, the more it's worth, period. And this coin right here is certified absolutely perfect Mint State 70. And that's a thing. Understand, in coin collecting, you have these independent third-party companies that all they do, NGC, you see, doesn't sell coins.
True.
All they do is grade coins.
Right.
They're an independent third-party arbiter of grade. And understand, their word is taken throughout not only the United States, but the entire world of numismatics, as when they say it's a 70, it's a 70.
Right.
That's an important thing. So you get that grade. Now you have in. So you're collecting these American Silver Eagles every single solitary year. Now add in to the entire calculus of all of this that the United States government is changing the design next year on the American Silver Eagle. And now you've got an incredible, incredible opportunity to be able to get an American Silver Eagle that is at its end.
Right.
So we now, like I said, we have closure, we have a bookend, we have the beginning, the yin and yang, the alpha and omega, if you will.
The numerology,
that's right.
the silver value. So here's the thing, we're saying 4 minutes or sellout, and I realize there's a lot of information to process, but this is one you don't even have to think about. If there is what we could call kind of a no-brainer in terms of an entry level, a gateway coin.
Perfect, yes, it's a gateway coin.
It's a gateway coin. This is it. And at this juncture, we have basically 80% of the inventory, gone. And that's just if we factor in the number of people calling, let alone if we factor in if people are getting more than one. And if you are doing this, whether it is your foray, your gateway, your place to start coin collecting, whether it's a 2020 wedding, a 2020 birth of a baby, you just want the intrinsic value of the silver. It's a gotta get it, gotta do it. You should try it. 30-day return policy, $23.32 in your credit card to get it at home. Mike, I will say, it is awfully hard to say no to this coin.
Yeah, well, because it has all the things that you want. It ticks all the boxes. Intrinsic value, great value. It's historic not only as a coin, but as a price and an opportunity as well with this. Plus, you have the end of an era that you have. It's a legacy coin. It's a transition coin.
Yes.
Those are all critically important to long-term collector value. And like I said, welcome to the world of coins for all of you that are purchasing from us for the very first time. It is fascinating. It is satisfying. It is absolutely, I think, the greatest hobby. They call it the hobby of kings, as a matter of fact. Everybody else says it's horses and all that. Nah, it's coin collecting.
Yeah.
I mean, kings did it because, well, it's their family portraits. They would, it was so important. They would just put their face on it.
That's true.
So you call that any way you want to see it.
That's true. Well, you better be calling or shopping online or shopping by remote. My producer has removed that time allotment or that clock because it's not going to make the clock.
Yeah.
So hopefully you are somewhere in some form of ordering. We've got yours, and normally with other shows, I say back order, wait list, don't worry, we'll make more. Mike can't.
Yeah, they frown on me making coins.
And you say you don't look good in orange.
Yeah, no, I would not rock an orange jumpsuit.
Or any of the above.
Good for me.
All right, do not hang up. We took your phone call in consideration. You're doing a wall of stuff.
We got the Wallow coins today for the first time in 2020.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I have to say,
first time in 4 months, I think.
Oh, no kidding. Every host that works with you loves it when you do these, don't they?
Yeah, they're fun.
They are.
And the value, you get to buy like a coin dealer.
You do.
You get to buy like a coin dealer. Everybody is all about that.
It's true.
Right,
it's like
there.
a Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah,
It's
something
going
like that, right?
on. It's a stairway to heaven. It's a stairway to coins.
There you go.
All right. Well, if you're channel surfing, this was supposed to be how we started next hour, but we're having a preemptive strike because our last coin sold out very quickly. Thank you again for doing that. Mike Mizak is here at HSN. If you are new to the world of coin collecting, he does things in the world of coins no one else does. He's been doing it for decades. And this is a fun way, I guess, to start the next hour-ish.
Well, and here's what we do. So this is a continuation. This is an American Silver Eagle, just like the NGC coin. Red Oak presentation box. Okay, we're going to have the Annex Mint State 70 American Silver Eagle. So we do that part of this as well. So we have $99.95 because it comes with the Red Oak presentation box and puts that. So some people collect NGC, some people collect Annex, some people collect PCGS, some people collect them all. But once again, it's the very last coin in the entire series as they're changing this for 2021. It's an exciting opportunity. Like I said, there's that Red Oak presentation box. Great opportunity to start
So let me just do some housekeeping things, and then I'm actually going to ask Mike to do like a little educational process, just because we had a lot of new shoppers on that last coin that sold out. So I'm going to actually just kind of play devil's advocate in a moment. But if you are channel surfing in the world of coin collecting, it's kind of like the Wild West. There's a lot of counterfeiting. There's a lot of who's it, what's it, is it what they actually say it is. You never, ever, ever, I repeat, ever have to worry about that with Mike or with HSN. Everything that we do, this in particular, you can see it's graded. 70, it's not a 1 to 10 like Bo Derek on the beach. 70 is a perfect point system in the world of coin collecting. 2020 is the last year that they are doing this historic design. And once more, I'll play devil's advocate and I'll have Mike give you a little education process. You get that Red Oak presentation box, which I think those are like $25 on hsn.com.
Customer pick.
Customer pick.
Customer pick $24.95 on HSN.com.
Your flex pay, if you're new to HSN, is a little over $30 with a 30-day return policy, which no one else in the industry does. It's rare that Mike has flex pay. I love that they're doing flex pay on just about everything that you've seen in this show. 701-736. So I want to play devil's advocate. We had hundreds of new shoppers. People would never shop at coins or HSN call us on that last coin that sold out. top to bottom, why do I want this? What is the grading? What's the big deal about the last year of issue?
Yeah, great.
All of the above.
I think that all important questions. And if you're new to shopping for coins,
Yeah.
I understand it gets a little
It's overwhelming.
convoluted.
Yeah.
But understand it's really pretty simple. First of all, you start with the building block. You start with an ounce of pure silver. So that's the base of all of this in the American Silver Eagle. Then after that, you want the nicest one. Let's say you've been a doll collector. Mint in box, okay? That's what you're looking for.
True.
Okay,
Good
you know,
point.
stamps that aren't canceled.
Yeah.
The higher the grade, the more it's one. So you want perfection. So you have the silver, you have the perfection. And who says it's perfect? How about an independent third-party arbiter decides that it's perfect?
Yeah.
Someone who is accepted in the industry. There are only 4 grading companies that are accepted industry-wide, period. They are PCGS, NGC, ICG, and Annex. That's it.
Period.
Anything else is just, it's just your coin cowboy. Look, it's a Wild West out there.
Good luck to you.
That's right. It's a Wild West out there. You want to be a coin cowboy, and you saddle up and ride on there. But if you want to stick with the things that you know. Now, the other thing that happens, okay, there's counterfeits and that kind of stuff out there. Understand, when you buy from us, so now you have the coin, now you have the perfection, you have a coin that's ending. We'll